internet with wisdom and information about how much beer you should drink, how often you should drink it, and then, of course, don't drink it and just send it to us, and we'll drink it instead. So there you go. That's the new rule of the internet. Send your beer to us, specifically an address in Toronto, which we will send out in our daily newsletter. So, hi everybody. How's it going? It's been has it been a week? Yeah, it's been a week. I don't know if it's been a long day, but I don't have beer. So, Alan, take the reins.
All right. Well, Shane and I have the same beer, so we'll wait for him to come back and we'll talk about it together. Locke, you've always got something interesting going on in your neck of the woods in Toronto there, or Southern Ontario, wherever the hell you are right now.
So,
tell us what you're drinking.
Evening is a product called RoboHop.
Nice. Is that from Great Lakes?
It is from Great Lakes. So this is what they call an Imperial New England IPA. 8.5% alcohol per volume. Let's see what we say on the back. All right. As a child, RoboHop was shunned for his laser beam eyeballs, bulbous hop-shaped torso, and robotic limbs. During adolescence, however, things changed for our hero. He captained his high school hockey team, routinely took over dance floors, and thusly garnered a lot of attention from jealous classmates. Today, RoboHop battles the blandness of the big boys by making his killer hoppy and bracingly bitter beer.
Nice.
We've got barley, wheat, and oats, raw sugar, hops, and yeast.
Raw sugar?
Yeah.
That's an odd ingredient.
I like this because it might be too sweet, but it sort of depends on
what's the alcohol on that? The alcohol content?
Well, so I'm hoping the yeast gobbled up all of that sugar and turned it all into booze.
Yeah.
So let's find out.
Well, and that's why they add the sugar, is to boost the alcohol.
Yeah, one thinks so, yeah.
But then you wind up with a bit of a cidery kind of flavor to it. So I'm interested to see what you have to say about that.
Okay, the aroma initially was sort of mango-y, mandarin-y citrus. So definitely your hazy toast IPA.
Right.
But pleasingly, when I actually put it in my mouth, it's not overwhelmingly sweet.
Okay, good. Do you get does it have sort of like a cidery kind of flavor profile?
There is maybe a little bit of something there. I wouldn't go all the way to calling it cidery, but
okay. Because that is the knock on adding sugar to wort, is that you wind up with that. And specifically, they use a lot of sort of like corn sugars and that kind of thing to boost the alcohol, but then you wind up with that sort of that flavor profile that's not.
It says raw sugar. It doesn't say what kind of raw sugar. So we don't know if it's cane sugar or beet sugar or what. So,
right.
Okay. But now that you mention it, like if it's cidery at all, think about Scrumpy. Do you know Merridale's Scrumpy?
I don't know it actually.
There's just a little hint of that in there. Okay. Otherwise, this is deceptively easy drinking. If you wanted to get somebody plastered without them knowing it, pouring this into their glass a few times probably would do the trick.
Right. Okay. So does this one get a thumbs up from you? So does it? Do you give it a thumbs up? I'm
happy with this. I'm not as wild about your hazy IPAs as some people are. I'm more of a West Coasty kind of guy. I like those sort of strong resiny pine notes, but This is, this is. It's a little incongruous with the Toronto covered in snow 10 below that I was so recently walking through.
Right.
This is sort of more of a summer day kind of a beer.
Okay.
Would be my take on it. But
so that's the Robo Hop from Great Lakes Brewing in Southern Ontario there in Locke's neck of the woods. Hey, Dave, you're not drinking tea. What are you drinking? Are you drinking like a Monster?
What did I just see there?
It is tea.
Oh, are you drinking a peace tea?
Of the iced variety.
Yeah.
oh, look at that.
I guess that's kind of like an artisanal iced tea.
It is an artisanal.
So how do you like
Actually,
it?
No, this artisanal is more like
Mass produced?
pure leaf. Pure leaf.
Oh, okay.
Or what's the other one? There's this you guys might have seen it on shelves. Maybe they kind of go after this yellow orange label. Other cans, Gayaki or something like that. It's a yerba mate base. If
Gayaki?
you're into teas, yeah, something Gayaki. I think I'm probably butchering
that's
the
good
pronunciation.
yaki.
Yes, very good yaki. Anyways, it's not a bad one, but it's
Gayaki.
got more bite. It's got more bite. If you've ever had
Got more bite
yerba
than bark?
mate, huh?
It's got more bite than barks.
I saw what you did there. I saw what you did there. Yeah, apparently it does that more. It has more bite. This is more like
Peanut gallery.
I don't know, sweeter.
Okay.
And you guys know me.
Very
I like my sweet. And hey, it's cheap.
Well, that's a good thing. Shane, you and I are drinking the same thing tonight. Shane chose this beer. Why did you choose it, Shane? What is the beer?
It is
Tell us all about it.
the Lighthouse Brewing's Numbskull Double IPA with the coolest. Oh God, it's beaming out. The coolest skull. Ooh, that's kind of cool. I should have it hover. There you go. It is a double IPA, and the reason I got it was because of the label. We've had some stuff from Light.
Ooh, 9-1.
From this brewery before, from Lighthouse, and I don't recall ever hating it or being awful. So I thought, why the hell not? It is aromatic as hell, and it smells like oranges.
I've had Numbskull before, and that I am pretty sure is a new label.
So Numbskull is like a rotating IPA thing. They change it every so often. So this is their 8th version. And
Numbskull the 8th.
What does it say on it? It says Numbskull is our rotating Imperial IPA series where we explore a new dominant hop with each batch. In this 8th edition, we throw back to our now retired Tasman Pale Ale. Using Ella, Vic Secret, and Motueka hops from Tasmania and New Zealand's Tasman Bay, this Numbskull has inviting tropical flavors of fresh lime and passion fruit with a refreshing bitter finish.
Yeah, that's what I'm getting from the aromatic sort of stuff. It's like citrusy to hell. At least mine is. I don't know. That's kind of how I'm responding to it. So.
I'm not detecting a lot of aroma from this. I'm getting a little bit, but it's not a lot. But the flavor,
can you still have? Can you taste the beer? Can you smell the beer?
I can taste the beer.
Okay, just checking.
Oh
Making
my
sure.
god!
The official COVID
flavor
test in Canada,
profile
so you
is
can
off
drink
the
and smell
charts.
your beer or taste and smell.
I mean, this is incredible.
Allie, I'd like to have the other beer I gave you. Give it back to me. Give it back.
I mean, this is really good.
I'm impressed.
Wow.
I make more of this. Don't have a limited thing.
I hate the fact that this is just a limited thing. This should be a regular. This would compete very well locally, I think, with Fat Tug.
Oh.
I don't think it's as good as Fat Tug necessarily, but it's getting close. Like
Well,
So 9-1, that's a lot of alcohol in a beer. Do you taste the alcohol very much?
Pardon?
Does it taste boozier than Fat Tug, for example?
No, not to me.
No, not to me either.
Okay.
I just got the hiccups though.
You know what I'd almost like to do is take a Fat Tug and this and do like a blind taste test between the two and see if I can tell them apart, actually.
What, this and Fat Tug? No, Fat Tug has a very distinct sharpness to it. That
You're right.
It does.
I actually haven't had a Fat Tug since November. So yeah, I know, right?
This is, God darn it. The finish is very not Fat Tug like. Fat Tug like's finish is very clean, and you don't have an aftertaste. Oh my lord!
Uh-oh. I think you need a paper bag for that.
I was trying it with the beer bottle; it didn't really work though.
Was there still beer in the bottle?
You're like the Popeye cartoons when they're trying to describe that somebody's drunk. Hick.
Yeah, exactly. I don't know. I think I'd be able to tell Fat Tug apart just because of the sharpness of it, but
Right.
I don't know. Maybe it's you know what? It's worth a try. A bunch of this, maybe some other IPA.
I mean, I would get this again easily, like in a heartbeat.
Oh yeah, so would I. I'm very impressed.
And I will be
not
honest
expecting
with
this at all.
you. And I'm going to be perfectly honest with you that a lot of Lighthouse's stuff, I mean, with exception, but a lot of Lighthouse's stuff I find to be lackluster. I find it to be sort of like minimal in flavor and that kind of thing. This is full of flavor. This is awesome. Prior to this, I would say that my favorite beer from them was their Night Watch Coffee Lager. That's a really good beer. This now beats that. Even though this is a seasonal. Shane, are you okay? Are you like?
I'm just trying to hold my breath. I'm waiting for the next one.
Okay. I wasn't sure if you were frozen. Your background was moving. I could see all like the characters and everything cascading, but you were like still.
All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to startle you. There is a synthwave doom rock crossover band called Bantha Rider.
Okay.
Really? Bantha Rider? Why are we not? I want to know why we're not watching this right now. Do they have some videos?
I don't know if they have videos. I'm
Bantha
aware of this
Rider.
through my contact in Sweden recently. But I thought I would try to distract you, and it seems to be working.
It did. And I love, oh my God, I love, oh wow, check this out. This is for you, Alan. Check. I gotta say, I am impressed. Here you go. This is their.
Oh my God.
That's awesome.
Wow.
I mean, honestly.
Do they breathe out of their eyes?
I think they're breathing in, but it's coming out their eyes, yeah.
Okay. Like, it's
I
not
mean, it's not their eyes, it's their goggles or whatever.
goggles things or whatever they are.
Yeah. But yeah, that's pretty epic. I was going to ask a question. I just cannot remember what the hell I was going to ask. So never mind. Continue on, boys. This week has been very, I don't know, uneventful in terms of
Very the last week
the
of
world.
January in a lockdown in a pandemic.
Exactly. All things considered, but Cloris Leachman, the actress, has passed away at the age of 94 just today. Made me sad. So I'm sure there's been either two reactions: who, or oh really? Oh man, I remember her in insert movie title here.
Yeah.
She was awesome. So
Can I tell you guys a secret?
okay.
No.
It's just between us, Ellen. It's all good.
Yeah, just between us.
Yeah, we're not listening.
No, you can't.
It's all fine.
I thought Cloris Leachman had died a long time ago.
Well,
I was like, she's still alive?
Well, there is.
If she was.
What was it? Abe
Vigoda.
The what's the website?
Fish from Barney Miller.
Yeah, but there was a website for. Yeah, here we go. This.
Do you realize?
And it's still active. Here we go.
But he's actually dead now.
He is actually dead. Yes.
Yeah.
So this was a website that was running for quite some time. That basically all it did was had yes or no, and for of course years it just said no. But then of course on January 26th it changed to yes. Is Abe Vigoda dead.com. And there you go. So yeah, I actually every so often I actually went there to see if he was dead. Sadly, he eventually did pass.
Well, the guy looked like he was like 95 when he was in his 30s.
True. He aged very well.
Well, no, he didn't. He aged very, very quickly, very, very young, and stayed old.
Die.
He excelled at aging. He aged very, very well.
Yes, and he'll outlive us all. I'm fairly certain of that.
He's dead now. This is the point.
Speaking of people who are younger than us that are dead now, I noticed Alexei Lehov of Children of Bodom just died. He was a virtuoso speed metal guitarist from Finland. Yeah.
Well, how did he die?
COVID, I think.
Oh, really?
What?
That sucks.
Hard to say. I mean, like I can easily believe that the guy probably was he might have had some pre-existing health problems. He might also have had some pre-existing alcohol and drug consumption issues. Hard to say.
Right.
But yeah, speed metal guitarists sometimes do. But in any event, he's dead. So, and at a very young age. So,
and Larry King died. I think also of COVID.
Right. He died just the other day. And apparently it was COVID for him.
Yeah.
The big thing for COVID that I keep getting hearing it repeated is, of course, that the lung scarring and the heart problems, like this thing damages your heart, and apparently one of the newer variants has mutated in such a way where it goes after your heart more than your lungs. So so don't get it.
Yeah,
it's
wise advice, my friend.
I mean, I spent a long time considering what really to say about COVID, and I'm glad
don't get it.
Don't get it. So that means what? Wear a mask. Don't go anywhere you don't need to go, and you should be okay. I mean,
and get the vaccine.
Yeah, I mean that's actually. I don't know if this is a whole big deal, but I did hear that there's some third vaccine coming along that's a single dose. And, the EU is currently looking at it and are about to approve it, and Canada already has started the process. And they apparently have capacity to make a whole lot of it. So
there'll be a lot of those kind of things coming down the pipe there in the coming months. It's not just going to be the two vaccines. There's going to be others coming.
Yeah,
in short order, probably by the end of the year.
So we shouldn't be injecting ourselves with bleach quite yet. Is
not quite yet. Yeah,
I've often wondered if you could actually do that Not the but
Inject
using-
yourself with bleach?
No.
Yeah, you could.
Let me
It's
clarify.
dumb, but
Let me clarify. You know how you can have like a dialysis machine? You can run your blood through filters and all kinds of stuff. I wonder if it's possible to run that through, like some cleaning solution, like bleach, and and seeing if that helps out. I'm just saying, it could work.
You're going to bleach living blood cells and hope.
No, you'd have to take the blood cells out first.
So just plasma.
Screw plasma. You don't need it.
And thus concludes Dr. Shane's Corner.
I'll tell you what is interesting news. Is there was a recent study of 300 patients where they were able to show that people with mild to medium symptoms of COVID who were on blood thinners, the blood thinners appear to prevent the disease from progressing to a serious case.
Oh, wow.
Which is interesting. And sort of tracks with what we know about COVID, which is to say that it gums everything up rather than rips everything down like Ebola does.
Right.
Oh, okay.
So I gotta just to change gear here.
Please do.
So I checked out a new show
Oh yeah.
on the weekend. I don't know which of you guys have Disney Plus, but I checked out WandaVision. WandaVision. Now, I'm not a Marvel Universe person at all. Like, I haven't watched any of these movies really.
Sorry, who's Wanda? Is Wanda a Marvel superhero that I missed?
So I guess they call it
Scarlet
Witch.
Sorry, what?
The Scarlet Witch.
The Scarlet Witch.
I thought Wanda and Scarlet Witch were two different characters.
I don't know. Maybe they are. I have no idea.
No, her name is Wanda Maximoff. Is her actual name?
Okay.
Shane,
And Vision, who is Vision, I guess he's a robot thing.
Wow. Sit down before you hurt yourself.
Like I said, I don't watch the MCU. But damn it.
Yes. So this is Scarlet Witch. She is incredibly powerful. She is one of those characters that is
Where's the leotard and the cape?
in the Avengers, but also in.
And she blows bubbles with her hands.
Oh my god. Oh, what? Alan and Locke left. Oh, that's terrible. It's just me and Dave.
Uh-oh.
It's too bad that Locke and Alan left.
We appear to be having technical difficulties, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, technical difficulties.
for that.
Okay, so anyway,
for the rest of the night.
So I've been watching this WandaVision show. So WandaVision it includes these two characters, Wanda, whatever, and Vision, but they are. It seems like they're removed somehow from their reality, and they're been put into a sort of like a sitcom kind of thing. And every episode kind of follows classic sitcom tropes from like the 50s, 60s, and then the 70s. So like the first episode was the 50s. The second episode was the 60s. And then the third one was the 70s. With all the fashions, the Brady Bunch looking house in the last episode. And before that, it was like based on, I don't know what it was based off of. Maybe, what's that? The Dick Van Dyke Show. It's really interesting how they did it, and they made it look really authentic too. I really enjoyed that part of it. I'm not up on all the Marvel stuff, but aside from that, it's very entertaining.
This is a Marvel superhero that lives in the Dick Van Dyke Show.
Okay, before hang on.
Okay, Shane's gonna school us here.
So this character of Wanda / Scarlet Witch is appeared in the MCU in the movies in the second Avengers film, so the one from 2015. So she appeared. She's been in all the movies since. And she, during the last few films, started having a romantic experience, or not romantic experience, a romantic relationship with the character of Vision, who is he's an android. The original AI created by Tony Stark, who was elevated into a body using blah blah blah. Anyway, he's a robot with a brain who's an AI, and he's got all kinds of powers and blah blah blah. So,
and interestingly, as an aside, he was also the bad guy in the Han Solo movie. I came to realize this. He was the head of the Crimson whatever.
Yeah, whatever they were called.
Basically, it's the Lion, the Witch, and the robot.
Sure. So anyway, Thanos killed Vision by ripping out the Mind Stone from his head, thus ending Vision. And in the comics, at one point, the character of Wanda created essentially a different universe that she created for herself, because she has a lot of different powers, blah blah blah. Anyway, so she basically, what she did is she created a fictional universe of herself, or for herself. Whether she knows it or not is sort of the question. And right now the biggest assumption is that she created it in her reaction to the death of Vision. So the TV show, though, is built around this idea that every episode so far has been built upon an era of sitcom television. So the first episode is like the 50s sitcom, Dick Van Dyke, Leave It to Beaver, these sorts of shows. So the thing is shot in black and white. It's got the 4:3 aspect ratio and that kind of stuff. The second episode brought it forward a bit into the sort of 60s kind of thing. And then the latest episode was very much like
Brady Bunch,
Partridge Family, Brady Bunch, those kinds of shows. So apparently, according to what the actors have said, most of the episodes are going to go up into the 2000s. So in theory, this week's episode will be an 80s sitcom, Family Ties or something.
That sounds like a really short run then.
It's only got 9 episodes. So,
oh man,
this WandaVision is actually the first thing in phase 4 of the MCU. So the Thanos story is now complete. Now it's what happens after that. So this is the first thing we get to see in this particular phase. So, because this is the phase where now that Disney has completed the sale or the purchase of Fox, they're going to reboot the X-Men films and bring the X-Men into this universe. Now, this is the thing, is that technically, from what I understand, I am not an expert, but I understand that the character of Scarlet Witch is a character that has appeared in both Marvel comics as well as X-Men comics. So she's kind of this character that bridges both of these universes together. So in theory, we might see a new Wolverine, new this, that, and new everything else.
Yeah, right. Because X-Men, the rights to X-Men were bought separately before the consolidation of there was a bankruptcy proceeding where Marvel went bankrupt and Izzy asked
many eons ago. Yeah. So they did. I mean, that's the thing that they have with Spider-Man. Is the deal they have with Sony.
There's more than one party that owns rights to that.
Exactly, but for X-Men, now that they own Fox, which own the rights, there you go.
Yeah.
Although just today, this is really for Dave. there was an announcement today about how they are definitely going to be redoing or doing something with the Firefly universe. So that was very cool. What
I'd have serious reservations about
they
that.
just said
But
the property is coming back. They just didn't say how it was coming back and what it would look like.
What I've heard is they're going to be redoing the whole thing, but it's going to be Quentin Tarantino writing and directing it.
Quentin Tarantino writing and directing.
Kidding.
A Star Wars flick? Isn't that what?
No, Star Trek. Star Trek.
Pressing our buttons. Well done, sir. You pressed my buttons.
But, yeah, well, hey.
Yeah, that was well delivered, Alan. Proud.
So who knows? I mean, of all of these different properties, I'm kind of glad COVID has happened because it's given people time to kind of decompress from
the point that I was making originally was even though that I, as a non-Marvel fan, I could still enjoy WandaVision for what it is. So I recommend it.
Okay, no, that's good. Yeah,
it's a very weird show. I mean, it's the only reason I know anything about it really is that I hang out with a bunch of nerds that are comic book addicts. So it's been highly speculated what's actually going on.
It's nice that you don't hang around with people who are. I'm not a nerd at all.
No. I'm talking about. Let me clarify. Marvel nerds.
Oh, Marvel.
But I mean, it's kind of nice. But here's the thing: what I like about how they're doing it is that they're slowly introducing all of these other components into this universe, and they're doing it very subtly and very slowly, which I like. So it's not something that you're suddenly getting beaten over the head of this is an important character, or this is an important organization, or this is an important fact. It's just kind of being done nicely. And by the way, this show for you, Alan, is being done and run by the dude who created and ran the Clone Wars and all these other and Rebels and then whatnot. So
Dave Filoni?
He's the guy running the fucking WandaVision.
Really? I had no idea.
I never watched any of the Star Wars animation. Are they good?
Oh yeah.
Really?
Oh yeah, I'm enjoying them a lot.
Okay.
You have to kind of give them a little bit of time to sort of get into them a little bit, but once they get going, they're really good. And in fact, a lot of the live action stuff calls back to those animation. Like if you haven't watched any of the animation, you wouldn't know that there's a character named Ahsoka, whom Anakin trained before he turned to the dark side. She left the Jedi Order before Anakin turned. But there's going to be a series that they're going to be making in the next couple of years about her. And in it, it's going to have characters from the Star Wars Rebels animated series.
Well, look, if it's done in the same way that they've handled The Mandalorian, which I thought was very well done, I'm all for that.
Yeah. By the way, I'm actually wrong. I spoke the wrong name. It's Feige, the other guy. There's Filoni and Feige.
Oh.
Kevin Feige being the guy who is, done everything Marvel for ages.
Has anybody watched any episodes of The Expanse yet?
I haven't,
but it was a while ago.
The only thing I've done is I read the first book.
You read the book
years ago now. Allison has read, I think, at least one other.
I'm very into plugging, economic nationalism here, plugging the Canadian production of The Expanse. I think I think it's probably the most refreshing outer space science fiction I've seen in a decade.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have not seen it
for decades
at all.
I've
Allison,
seen some of it.
She kind of didn't want to. I mean, as I said the other week, I kind of want to see it because of the actress who gets me hot every time I hear her voice.
Yeah.
She's good stuff.
What is her name? Allie, what's the hot lady's name?
I'm not playing this game.
You're not playing this game. Oh wow. But anyways, yeah. But because the Expanse like was running on. I've forgotten who was running it first, and then it got canceled, and it got moved to.
I think it's
Netflix pick it up,
Amazon.
or Amazon
It's
pick it
on
up.
Amazon.
Yeah.
So it's one of those shows that has a lot of promise and did very well, and then for whatever reason got canceled. I just want to say this one thing really quickly, completely unrelated, but kind of related. Speaking of science fiction, I saw the trailer yesterday or the other day for Godzilla versus King Kong. And if you have not seen these films, I do recommend them. Godzilla, like these last few films where you had like Godzilla and King Kong, Skull Island, all these things. Because it's the same reason I like the Pacific Rim films. Sometimes you want to watch a movie that isn't too complicated, where you get to watch big robots beat the hell out of each other.
Yeah.
So the reason I bring it up is that I just was looking at the Expanse's IMDb page, and they have a big poster on the side for Godzilla versus King Kong. In the trailer of this film, Godzilla bursts out of the water and is going toe to toe with King Kong, and King Kong just rears back with his haymaker and just punches Godzilla right in the face. I gotta say that sold me on whether I have to go see this film. So, anyway, totally.
Did he say that he was going to get in this thing and kick his ass?
No, it was now films that should be remade. That film is like verbatim.
Robot Jocks.
The script should not change ever, but
No.
Robot Jocks should be redone with special effects. Like maybe like if you watch the original series of Star Trek, these days, you'll notice the special effects look way better. Planets look relatively real, and that kind of stuff, because they redid all the special effects a few years back. And so that I think would actually work. You have the same actors doing the same thing, just clean up the footage and add in some additional special effects. But that said, I kind of like the stop motion as well. It's stop motion, and
Hey, I dig Ray Harryhausen work. There's nothing wrong with any of Ray Harryhausen's movies. None of the special effects need to be redone. It's fun.
So overall, I gotta say, Robot Jocks should come back. But back to the Expanse. They're actually rocketing in their 5th season right now, so they're gonna probably go for at least another couple, I would think. Because
I think I heard that it was going to be the season coming up is their final.
Oh, was that? Oh, that sucks. That's too bad.
But maybe I'm wrong. I don't know.
But yeah, I mean, I enjoyed the book, and I kind of want to see it because I want to hear her voice. I gotta say. I just can't think of what the hell her name is.
I like that it's got Babu in it.
Babu.
Yeah, you remember Babu from Seinfeld? You are very bad man.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah, he plays your hot woman's husband.
Yeah, here we go. There she is. Yeah, I will never pronounce her name, but yeah, she's Iranian, and God, she's good. And her voice. Oh my God, her voice is astounding. It just
She swears like a sailor in that thing.
But overall, I think I'll ask Allie that we should, or I'll tell Allison that we're gonna watch The Expanse and you're gonna like it, because it is a show that I have heard a lot about, and you raved about it. So, sorry,
Canadian production.
That's true. I mean,
There you go.
and I know somebody, a podcaster friend of mine, as I said, I think the other week, he was one of the designers on it.
Nice.
And he's worked on a bunch of stuff out of Toronto, of course, because that's where he lives. But there's been one of the best comments I ever heard was him talking about control panels on TV shows in science fiction. Before, you used to be able to have like all kinds of weird things, like some text beside a button on the panel. You see the panel,
a bunch of geometric shapes lit up in bold,
Art panel
radiant kind of colors.
chocolate delivery system, things like that. And they can't do that anymore because when they went to HD, all those panels became really visible,
Readable.
Exactly. So, but yeah, there's all kinds of cool stuff. I mean, that's the thing is that the entire DC universe, like all of these TV shows that DC is doing, they have a new one coming out soon called Superman and Lois, I think.
Yeah.
But all of that stuff is shot here. Like there's tons of things it's all like Supergirl. It's bizarre to watch, some of those shows because it's obvious that it's, that I was on that street corner yesterday, that kind of thing. So
I know that I don't know, Shane, if you remember him, Colin House. He used to do stuff with us in when we did improv. He works on The Flash.
Okay, yeah, The Flash is sort of the big one right now because it's sort of that one, Arrow, and then The Flash. I think were the two shows that sort of really, the Arrow specifically became really big, and then Flash followed, and then I guess it was Supergirl. Like right now, they're.
Do you remember Laura Gregg?
Laura Gregg?
She was. We were dating for a little while, her and I. My height, pretty much. Crazy Star Wars fan.
Yes.
Yeah. Her take on The Flash. Remember, she's another lawyer.
Right.
How many law firms never need a paying client?
I mean, the same could be said for Daredevil. Like that show is all about lawyers, and
maybe it was Daredevil that she was talking about. Sorry,
and she basically, the show basically, I think it was the end of the first season.
Wait. What does the Flash do for a living when he's not being a superhero?
Runs really fast. He runs.
He does.
That's basically that's what he does. Like he
runs around. That's it.
I don't know. I last time I checked, not that I have, I think he was a student, like university or something.
Oh, that's a good cop out. Yeah. Yeah, you don't have to make money when you're a student.
Yeah, well, the same problem exists for like Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Peter Parker he's either early in his career or he is.
Yeah. Like he worked for a newspaper. He was a peon, but he was a journalist.
A photographer.
Photographer.
He didn't actually write anything. He actually just took pictures.
Yeah. A journalist.
But I mean, the big thing for DC is that they right now are filming Batwoman, which has had a season, but the main actor got hurt, like fractured her neck on set, and so they've recast Batwoman. They've also done. They've
already done a season, and they're already recasting her.
Well, yeah, the actress, she can't do it now. She fractured her neck, like she did some serious damage to herself. So
while on set or
while filming, yeah. So she just said, I got really hurt. I can't do it anymore. That kind of thing, right? So they had to recast her. I mean, that was the kind of thing. But then they're also filming a thing called Legends.
What the hell are they having her do that she would fracture her neck? Who's her agent?
I don't know. Well, I mean, here's the thing. A lot of those actors, they are allowed to choose whether they do their own stunts. So if they choose to do so, I mean, but here's the thing. Regardless of how she hurt herself, those things, falling on your back on a foam mat or whatever, is relatively simple if you're a stunt person. And if you've practiced enough, you could probably do it as an actor as well without hurting yourself. But there's going to be that one time you just land in that particular angle and your body goes, yeah, hell no. And damage happens. So, I mean, the same thing happened, I think, just last year, or sorry, I guess the year before. There was a stunt performer who died, I think, on the same show. Or was that on a film? I can't, anyway, it's irrelevant. But this person came to do a stunt on a motorbike, and from what I recall reading, they were, qualified to do it, but they had not done enough of it, and they were pretty green on the spectrum of doing stunts, and the bike went one way and she went the other, and that didn't wind up very good. So it was really sad, but DC has basically survived on TV of late, in terms of their characters and licensing and things like that. So, there's like all these shows that are like Supergirl's been running for a few years, which has Han Solo's wife in it. What the heck's her name?
Han Solo's wife? What?
Harrison Ford's wife, Callista Flockhart, right?
Yeah.
Yes, she's made that show really well, and she left and came back and all kinds of things. But basically, all these shows are filmed here. It is really the whole conversation.
Yeah. Well, but that's Vancouver.
Like one universe that are being shot here. So.
Like if you want to understand the universe of television better, a tour of Vancouver will do a lot. I had to stop watching The Man in the High Castle because I couldn't see anything besides Vancouver.
Yeah, that's true. I actually haven't seen it. I want to see. I reread the book again last year, the year before, roughly when that show was starting, I think. And but I mean, the film that I like to watch every once in a while is Rumble in the Bronx, because it's this film about fighting in the Bronx, and it's obviously filmed here because last time I checked, when you're walking down the street in the Bronx, there are no mountains in the background.
Yeah.
and that was commented on, I think, quite a bit with how that show went, right? So
has anybody watched any episodes of Warrior? The Bruce Lee story.
I haven't actually. That's a
it's pretty good, actually. I dig it.
I need to watch the Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, I think is what it's called, Tarantino's film from last year.
Okay. Huh.
Which features Bruce Lee. So have you ever? I don't know the story very well, but essentially, it's about stunt performers and blah 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 blah, and I'm assuming there's a Tarantino.
It's not a documentary or anything, is it?
No, it's Tarantino.
But it's got the character of Bruce Lee rather than
the character of Bruce Lee. Yeah, it has DiCaprio is the lead. He's like a famous actor, and he hangs around with his stunt performer guy, who is Brad Pitt. So Brad Pitt plays his stunt guy, and what happens in the film I don't know. All I know is they have some crazy adventures and one of them is with Bruce Lee. So whatever the Tarantino, flip of that particular one.
Yeah. Actually, Tarantino has always been like I don't think he's made a movie that wasn't ultimately a comment on movies. So for him to do something about Hollywood is actually kind of spot on.
Actually, it was only last year, or 2020 has really messed up my whole memory now. But it must have been last year. I actually had never watched Jackie Brown, and I finally did see it.
It's the only one I haven't seen.
It came out when I went to Europe, and I was in Europe for like a quite a bit of time, and so that I remember the posters in Europe being everywhere, but I never did go and see it. So it was decent. I enjoyed it. I thought it was quite good. The characters were neat.
I think it got panned kind of universally because it was his follow-up to Pulp Fiction, and of course, Pulp Fiction was this huge hit, and there was no way he could follow up that with really anything.
No, that definitely was a I mean, he peaked early. Now, granted,
really
he
early.
Back with Kill Bill.
Yes.
And so
he should have skipped Jackie Brown and gone right to Kill Bill.
However, he is one of those
Kill Bill would have been caught in the same shadow.
Sorry?
Kill Bill would have been caught in that shadow too.
Yeah. I mean, then there was also what was the one after Kill Bill?
Inglourious Bastards.
Oh, right, I forgot about that one. I do recall seeing it. I don't remember it being a
I
standout.
loved Inglourious Bastards.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the one where they have that sequence where they mow Hitler down.
Yeah.
And
The most hilarious part of that is where Brad Pitt, of course, he plays an American, like Southern American, and he's in France meeting with the French underground, and they're like, "Well, we need somebody who can come to this party and speak perfect Italian." He goes, "Oh, I can speak Italian." "Oh, really? You're fluent?" "Oh, yeah, I'm fluent in Italian." So they go to this party, and he goes to go and check in, and they say hello to him, and he's like, "Buongiorno."
Nice. And then they were all promptly murdered.
Yeah.
Actually, there was the scene in the bar, I think, or the pub or whatever, where Christoph, the actor Christoph, what's his name?
Oh my God.
It's a brilliant moment where I think somebody speaks, and he realizes that their accent is not from Germany specifically. That was from Austria.
Yeah.
And he knew right away but I remember going back and seeing something on YouTube where they were commenting about that scene and playing that scene over and over again about how, and it's just a look on his face when he's, oh yeah, so like basically, where are you from, or whatever the hell it was, and it's like that moment in the third Indiana Jones film, where the evil Nazi guy sees Indiana Jones, like he recognizes him, and his eyes just kind of pop out of his head, like aha, recognition, and it's very big and theatrical. But then you see it in this Inglorious Bastard scene, and it's very subtle, where he just goes, "I know what's going on. All right, yeah, okay, all you guys are spies. Okay, you're all gonna die in a minute," like that kind of thing. And it's like you can hear the dialogue just written on his face, that sort of
Yeah,
thing.
yeah.
It was a really decent performance. But so Inglourious Bastards, and then it was Django Unchained, I think, was the next one.
Yeah,
Yes.
I think you're right.
And
I
after
love
that,
Django Unchained.
yeah, I enjoyed that one a lot. And then right after that was
So does that mean that this is the second DiCaprio film with
Well, okay, there was that one. Who was in it? It was like in the Old West.
that was the Hateful Eight.
Yes.
That's the one I'm trying to place. Like I don't remember when that took place.
I think that one was after Django.
I think it was after Django.
Okay, so
Hateful Eight, I believe it was his 8th major motion picture.
Okay.
I think that's one.
Oh, that's right. Because he said, "Isn't what is he's famous saying? I'm only going to make 10 movies or something, or 12 movies or something like that."
Well,
I don't buy it.
And Black Sabbath are going to retire.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So Django Unchained was 2012, and then Once Upon a Time in Hollywood was 2019. So yeah. I gotta say though, I give it up for DiCaprio. To watch him like go.
I like DiCaprio a lot. I like even more that he got schooled by Justin Trudeau.
Sorry, you're gonna have to unpack that one because I don't know what the hell you're talking about.
Oh, he got beacon off about I can't remember exactly what it was about Canada. And Justin Trudeau just fucking shot him down, which is to say that they're close enough in age that it's not going to be one of those. Well, you're just an old guy kind of dismissals. So when Justin Trudeau fucking shot him down, it was pretty good.
Nice.
This was right after he did what was it? DiCaprio had just done something where he was at the one where he's lost in the wilderness and all that shit.
Oh, the Revenant, yeah.
The Revenant, yeah.
The Revenant. I read the book after the film came out, and I watched the movie, then I read the book, and it's quite faithful. But overall, I mean, that was sort of the reality of him talking about how they had to go from shooting in Alberta to shooting the rest of or particular sequences where they required a lot of snow in southern Argentina, I think it was. So they had to take the production from the northern hemisphere to the southern hemisphere in order to find the snow they needed.
The big thing to adjust to in that sense is that the toilets flush the opposite way.
Well, man, it's such a dangerous
I've
thing.
been told that that's actually a myth.
Is it really?
I think it is.
I think the flushing of the toilets depends largely on who builds the toilet.
Okay. It has nothing to do with the Coriolis effect?
No.
Okay. The Coriolis effect is just it's conspiracy theory.
We live on a flat Earth, don't we?
By the Illuminati. It's a QAnon conspiracy.
Well, one day I'll visit my relatives in Australia and let you know for certain. But
yeah, take some video of your toilet at home, and then when you get there, take it right away. But I do understand.
I heard that it was a myth from a buddy of mine that spent a bunch of time in New Zealand, which is...
Okay, we have the power of the internet here. Do toilets flush the other way in Australia? No. Here you go. Australian toilets do not flush backwards because of any Coriolis effect or any other cause. It's just the reality that some manufacturers have the water jets pointed in the opposite direction. And apparently, some manufacturers in Australia have the jets facing the other way. It has nothing to do with the Southern Hemisphere. It has nothing else to do. Stop being stupid. So there you go. Stop being stupid.
Yeah.
There you go.
Stop being stupid.
I do recall having to,
They do drive on the other side of the road down there, so maybe that's a Coriolis effect.
I think so, yeah. I think that's very much I mean, basically, how many countries drive on that side of the road anymore?
So what about, if you fill up the sink with water and you're draining the sink, and of course it spins as it's draining, because that has nothing to do with water jets.
Shut up.
Well, I don't know. I'm just wondering. Because I think back to the episode of The Simpsons where they went to Australia.
In Bahamas, they drive American cars, so it's
wasn't the episode of The Simpsons? Wasn't that the one where the effluent comes out of the toilet and just enters your butt? I thought that was the way it worked. Because you're on the Southern Hemisphere, right?
No.
In the Northern Hemisphere, you flush down, and then
remember they went to the American embassy, and the soldier was like, Bart asked, "Do the toilets flush the opposite way?" Because he wanted to prove it was true, and the soldier was like, "No, we have mechanically altered the toilets, and there's this huge contraption on the toilets." To make them flush the correct American way.
Yeah, that's a thing. I suspect that's like the whole water jet problem.
The correct American way.
The correct American way. Oh my god. On that note, we've evolved into talking about toilet flushing. I'm going to give the last word to Dave. Dave, the last word of the show. Anything on your mind?
Geez, short and sweet. Watch good TV. You guys have mentioned some good stuff.
There we go. Thank you all for watching and tolerating our usual banter. We will, of course, be back next Wednesday with another entry into the COVID edition of the Crafty Boys, where none of us can go anywhere and we're trapped having to drink beer alone at home.
Our usual banter and also our unusual bantha.
What he said. Oh, God.